Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a speed gauge breakdown and build up like Bush Baby. Bush Baby is one of the absolute goats of the speed gauge scene. It's got huge tracks such as Woman's Touch, Breaker Breaker, and the track we're covering today, Shake and Slide. Here's a preview of what you'll have made by the end of this video.
Tempo, shake and slide, let the music be your guide. Tempo, shake and slide, let the music be your guide. Tempo, shake and slide, let the music be your guide. Tempo, shake and slide, let the music be your guide. Tempo, shake and slide, let the music be your guide. Tempo, shake and slide, let the music be your guide. Tempo, shake and slide, let the music be your guide. Tempo, shake and slide.
Great, so this track is made of 4 elements: the drums, the effects,
Tempo, shake and slide.
the bass, and the strings. Let's firstly start with the drums and we can build the rest of the breakdown around that. All the drums we're using in today's track are from my Speed Gauge Volume 4 drums pack. You can get this from the link in the description. This pack makes it really easy for you to make Speed Gauge drums just like the pros. Definitely check it out. It's also available in the Ultimate Bundle, which means you get all of the drums packs, all the serum presets for a much cheaper price. It works out at like £7 a pack or something silly like that. So definitely check that out as well. Great, so we're going to start the drums by adding a kick on every beat. It's going to sound like this. We don't actually want any of the bass on this kit because it's the breakdown. We want to save that for the drop. We just want that force to floor rhythm. So we're going to add an EQ8 and take away anything above 900 Hertz like this. We can then work on the hat, and we want to add a hat on the offbeat. We then want to add a clap on every second beat. We want to add another clap to add density. We then want to add a closed loop to add a little bit of like rhythm and swing. So we've now got this closed loop in, but we want to add some swing to it. So let's consolidate it and come over here and go to the groove pool. We want to look for a swing that's a 16th note swing, and we can go for a 64. So double click that. It's then going to apply it. We then want to bring the global amount down to about 72%. Let's hear it. This just helps add some of that garage rhythm. Great, now we're going to add an offbeat hi-hat to help add some more garage swing. So we're going to add a hi-hat here. Let's hear it in context. We then want to duplicate across, and we want to pitch it down by like 4 or something like this. And we also want to lower the volume. This helps create a sort of offbeat garage swing. And we can also make it even more. So we duplicate across and do it like this. And if we hear it in context, we could even make these a little bit lower in volume. Again, we could consolidate them all and add that same swing we've added on the closed loop. Nice. Great, so these drums are sounding good. Another thing he does to make his drums more interesting is add a chop from a think break. The think break is a classic break from the 90s. This is what it sounds like. You'll definitely recognize it. So today we're not going to be using the whole break. We just want that little vocal snip. So let's chop it up and put it in the right place. The part we're looking for is this. So let's just cut the rest of that off, drag it over here, delete it. So in context, it's going to sound like this. If you want to be even more creative, you can even add the whole think break. So you could just do something like this, get the whole thing going, and you could try and mix it in with the drums. So right now it's a little bit too much. So what you could do is put it on beats mode and go to this and bring it back a bit. This is going to make the notes and the transits a little bit shorter. I think on this particular track, it doesn't really work too well. That's why it's kept in just a little vocal chop. But yeah, you can definitely experiment with this on your own tracks. Lastly, we're just going to add some effects to these drums to get them really pumping. So firstly, we're going to add this drum bus to add some depth and some more volume. Bring that trim down. We then want to add a reverb to add some space. can put it on high mode. I'm going to adjust this sort of EQ. Helps to add a little bit of fizz to the hi-hats. Without it, they're a lot more stagnant, right? This helps them sound a lot more sort of in their own space and more sort of professional. You can definitely overdo it. Don't go to like 16. It's going to sound way too much. Great, now we've got the drums down, we can start working on the effects to make them a little bit more spicy. Let's do it. So the first effect we're going to add is a crash. I'm just going to go for this one. Lowering the volume so it sits in with the rest of the track. We then want to add some effects. So I'm going to add a reverb with the dry wet about 55% and decay about 2.2 seconds. We can also add a delay. Of course, this is optional. I've set it to third note and 50% feedback with 33% dry wet. We can also add a kickstart or some sort of sidechain. So let's go to compressor, double click that, put it on sidechain, and we're going to sidechain it to that kick we've got, high kick, and this way it just helps sit a little bit better on top of the drums. We then want to add a new MIDI track, and this inserts some new MIDI clips. So insert MIDI, and it's just 1, 2, 3, 4 on every beat. And we're going to go to the effects and find some sort of ragga shot. Something like this. Great, I'm just going to duplicate these drums so they're just doubled. And then we're going to add a little snare break at the end of here. So if you had a look at the MIDI for this snare break I've just made, it sounds like this. There's cool like sort of offbeat shots. So if you want to pause the video and copy the MIDI, then feel free. But essentially all I've got is a garage snare and a nice bit of reverb on it, about 12%. Kept that quite minimal. This helps to sort of create a lot more swing and like tension, especially if there's something going to be happening new that comes in this part. I'm also going to delete this crash because I don't want to overdo it on the crashes. Great, I'm just going to sort out the arrangement and then we can work on the build up. So all I've done is just doubled it again so it's even longer. And I've also added a longer snare roll here. And this is going to be our sort of pre-drop. We can also just cut out this section here so it helps to give our drop more emphasis. Let's play with the vocal so we can get a better idea of how the drums sound so far.
Tempo, shake and stop, let the music be your guide. Tempo, shake and stop, let the music be your guide. Tempo, shake and stop, let the music be your guide. Tempo, shake and stop. We rock the vibe, come on.
Great, so as you can hear so far, they're sounding really good. It's now time to work on the bass. Just to let you know, this bass is for my Speed Garage Volume 3 Serum preset pack. This pack has over 70 presets for making insane Speed Garage just like the pros. If you want to improve your Speed Garage production, this is the pack for you. You can get it from the link in the description. Great, so I've changed the arrangement of the drums, so we've got a breakdown here.
Shake and stop, let the music be your
And then
guide.
we've got a section for a build here.
Tempo, shake and stop, let the music be.
And then this is obviously where the drop would be, but obviously we're not covering the drop today. We're now going to have a look at the bass. Great, so here's the MIDI for the bass. If you want to pause the video and copy it, feel free. It goes G, G sharp, C, G sharp, and then we do a little flick up and down between the G and the G sharp at the end. So we're keeping the full thing in the build up, so it sounds like this.
Tempo, shake and stop, let the music be your guide. Tempo, shake and stop, let the music be your guide.
What we're then doing in the breakdown is sort of just deleting some notes of this. So what you want on the first section is just this front section like this. So you drag that on.
Tempo, shake and stop, let the music be.
And then do that again. And then at the end, you want this end section. So you can just drag that over. Make sure you delete that start note. Sounds like this.
Tempo, shake and stop, let the music be your guide. Tempo, shake and stop, let the music be your guide. Tempo, shake and stop.
What we're then doing for the next bit is duplicating that across. You can consolidate it. And then you're just going for the G here and here. And then duplicating that across again. Should sound like this.
Tempo, shake and stop, let the music be your guide. Tempo, shake and stop. We rock the vibe, come on. Tempo, shake and stop, let the music be your guide. Tempo.
Great, so if you have a look at the bass sound itself, as I said, it's from that Speed Garage Volume 3 pack. It's essentially made of 2 saw waves and this sort of creeper noise. What you're essentially looking at and the sound is coming from this envelope 1 on the filter. So we've really boosted up the resonance to 65 without that. And we kept the envelope nice and short, but we've got a lot of sustain if you get rid of that. That sustain is really important. And in terms of the effects, all we've added is a reverb. Of course, if you want this preset, you can get it from the link in the description. Great, one of the last elements we're going to add is a string. Great, we're now going to add a high string, so it sounds like this.
Tempo, shake.
Essentially all it is a string preset from Serum 2. You could use a Korg M1, so if you want to use Korg M1 and then go for some sort of soft string, prog, soft string, so like that, and it's going to sound exactly the same. The root note we're using is just the G, and that just prolongs out of the whole note. We've also drowned it in reverb. So we want it to sit really far back in the mix. Great, lastly, we're just going to work on a little bit of arrangement so we can get that pre-drop in. Let's do it. Cool, so we're going to go back to the drums now and we're going to work on this auto filter. So what we're doing is taking out anything in the build, so it's going to come in slowly.
Tempo, shake and slide, let the music be your guide. Tempo, shake and slide, let the music be your guide. Tempo, shake and slide, let the music be your guide. Tempo, shake and slide. We rock the vibe, come on.
What we're going to also do is add a full bass kick before the drop. So if we just duplicate this one and we delete everything from here, and then on this one, delete that part. We're then going to take off the effects. So take this EQ off and drag it out of the group because that's got reverb on it. It's going to sound like this.
Tempo, shake and slide, let the music be your guide. Tempo, shake and slide. We rock the vibe, come on. Tempo, shake and slide.
We could also add a little riser just before the drop. So if you go back to the speed gauge hack, there's some risers. Something like this.
Tempo, shake and slide, let the music be your guide. Tempo, shake and slide. We rock the vibe, come on. Tempo.
Great, so that is the track done. Let's hear what we've got.
Tempo, shake and slide, let the music be your guide. Tempo, shake and slide, let the music be your guide. Tempo, shake and slide, let the music be your guide. Tempo, shake and slide. We rock the vibe, come on. Tempo, shake and slide, let the music be your guide. Tempo, shake and slide, let the music be your guide. Tempo, shake and slide, let the music be your guide. Tempo, shake and slide.